Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
We have teams here in the city that get as much outreach into the community and help with charities as they can. And one of the teams that does a great deal of that are the Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians charities, and you've heard Cleveland Indians charities on the radio when they were the Indians as well. Like the Indians and Guardians charities, what they've been able to do and connecting with Velasano with that bike-a-thon before COVID and still kind of that going on, raising awareness for cancer and all of that in MLB. One of the best teams to do that. Now, are they one of the best teams in Major League Baseball this year? Maybe not, but one of their players took a step in being more recognized, especially here in town, as one of our favorite athletes, at least one of our favorite baseball players, to go through the Cleveland Baseball Organization during our time and time before us, and that is Jose Ramírez.
Who is it? Jose.
Now, we're allowed to sing that because they play like the Olay song when he comes out. Like,
oh, I love it. I absolutely love it every time.
So, a story came out. I believe it was in The Athletic. I'm not too sure on that, but there was a story and there was a snippet. One snippet that was being the picture of it was being thrown about social media. His agent, when they were having these contract talks with the Guardians, his agent was trying to convince him against signing this deal that he signed, the $150 million for, I think, 7 years, something like that. The extension that he signed, his agent was trying to deter him against that. And Jose basically said, how am I going to be any different if I have, $150 million versus $250 or $300 million on the market? I love being here. Why not stay here? Now, you'd love to see the team kind of give more players and support, just like how the Angels are finally doing that for Mike Trout. But it is refreshing to see a player take what everybody considers a pay cut to stay here in town. And really, he's just taking a contract to stay where he feels most comfortable.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, throughout our lives, how many great players have we seen just come and they develop, they become amazing players, and then we can't afford them, they leave, and they're like, we have to do what we got to do. No, you don't. If you really wanted to stay, you could have did exactly what Jose did. That guy, when he signed that deal and did what he did for this team in this city, instantly became my all-time favorite Indians player. I've never seen it done. Not in baseball, at least.
No, not in baseball. I mean, we were talking before, and, in football, you have Tom Brady, right? He's done deals like that. Granted, his wife makes way more money than he does, which is insane.
But there's a salary cap that makes a difference, too.
Well, exactly. But he, does that so they could put better players around him. And Jose, saying, hey, I'd rather make $150 million and stay in Cleveland.
And be happy.
Right. But I understand it's difficult for these guys because their agents push that. Because their agents get a percentage of what these guys make. And so for every $1 million more that player makes, that agent's putting 10%, $100,000 in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's, that's a bug in the ear to these players.
That's just the agent. All his family members, I'm not all of them, but a lot of family members were probably saying, no, hold out, go get this. Because everybody wants that little piece of that pie. And you get people all the time. And he said, no. I'm staying where I want to stay.
Kudos to him, man. They need to put him on that banner on the building across.
Well, you got to remember, Jose was never a high-end prospect. We brought him up and gave him a chance, and I think he's paying us back for that. Like, he's so appreciative of us as much as we are of him. And I was in awe when I seen that. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, it's one of those organizationally grown players that has turned into one of the most... How recognized he is, I don't know, because there's average sports fans out there that don't even recognize Mike Trout when it's a Mike Trout video of him and his dad in a batting practice or something like that.
I wouldn't recognize him, honestly. A lot of them I wouldn't.
Right.
I'll tell you this much: Jose walks around anywhere in Cleveland, everyone knows who he is.
Yes, man. And that's the type of fan base that we have. And you can't discredit players that take advantage of what the market tells you can or how much money is available, and they go maximize their market value. Talking about Tom Brady, always taking some of those pay cut type deals to allow teams to sign other players. I know that there's a salary cap, so it's a different situation, but he's choosing not to get his full market value of how much money he can actually get in the NFL.
Well,
And
look what he has.
Nowadays, you can get $230 million guaranteed. I'm not going there right now. We'll talk a little bit of Browns later.
But to hit on what you were saying,
Yeah.
he gave up all that money, but what does he have, 7 rings to go for that?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's how. He would take those 7 rings over all the money he lost. It also helps that his wife is a super millionaire, too. It makes more than he does, but...
It's instances like this that kind of tell you more that the player is talking about wanting to win, and it gives you more evidence that they're about it. I'm not saying that guys that go get their full market value aren't about winning. I think LeBron was finally able to do that when he went to LA and signed a longer term deal. He went more for a market value type deal, but he's about winning. You can't say anything about that. All these marketing deals that he has too. He's getting all of his market value and money from many different angles, but you can't say that he's not about winning. What I'm saying is you feel that more in a genuine manner from someone like Jose when he does something like this. And it truly feels genuine that he wants to stay here. And the agent trying to convince him otherwise, he's just trying to get him his market value. He's just trying to get him his money in baseball. He's doing his job. Jose just wanted to stay. And now this organization has got to look themselves in the mirror, and it's not just the Dolans, it's the front office. I know how good they've been and how professional this organization is, and we mentioned how great they are building up, getting money for charities around the community. But they got to look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, we have a player that wants to stay. We'll see what Shane Bieber wants to do when he comes up for a possible extension. He seems kind of like that type, but I'm not going to fault him if he tries to go get his market value, with the Guardians always chincing on the money, giving these cheap deals, these cheap-looking deals. We'll see what happens with that, but I need from this organization at this point, I need more clarity. I know we have 3 general managers, presidents of baseball, basketball, football operations that will say so much in a 25-minute press conference and say absolutely nothing with all those words. But I just want a little bit more transparency, a little bit more clarity from what approach are you taking? Are you in a moment where you are a mid-market, small market team that has to go back to your farm system to get the young talent some experience and build back up to contend in the AL Central and Major League Baseball? Or are you just thinking that maybe the window is partially closed this year? You're trying to, you are still trying to contend with an eye on the future. I want more clarity on that, because what we've seen to start this season versus what we were told in the offseason, they were going to spend money, and not just spend to keep players, spend to bring players in. It has been the opposite message, and that's
I guess they said they tried, and they actually, I think it was Chapman from the Athletics who tried to get in there, and it ended up falling through or whatever.
But tried.
How hard did you try?
In quotes, how hard did you try? If everybody around, even national media, is saying that Jose took a hometown discount, how much were you ever actually in? Because how little did you offer versus how much you actually know Chapman's going to get? Did you really feel like you were in on any of these things, or are we always going to be the bridesmaids and never the bride in all of this?
Well, I think how they play is going to make a huge impact on what they do. Now, if they start overexceeding, like they are to me already have overexceeded what they should have done this year, thanks to players like Quan and now Naylor coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're contending, I can see them making a move for a player, because they still need a bat out there. Now, Framil, he's finally starting to warm up thanks to E. Goldie getting him a good start going.
Yeah.
But he's one of those players, when he gets hot, he's red hot, and it's like he's one of the scariest batters. But when he gets cold, he's like he started off ice cold, and he's very streaky.
Right. Now, again, we're recording on Saturday, even though this is playing as if it's live on Sunday night in our normal time slot. You can catch us Sunday nights, 7 p.m. A little bit of a change to that next week, though, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I know that they have games going on right now against Toronto. They've had to play a doubleheader this past weekend because of all the rain, and then playing on Sunday with a 4-game series.
They should be playing right now.
They should be playing right now. I'm not going to give updates because it's not like it's going to matter, because it's pointless right now. I just think that it's nice to see that maybe they're getting a little bit more consistency in the lineup, or at least consistency in series. It's one thing. It's great to sweep. We've gone back and forth on this. Sweep, no sweep, sweep, no sweep. Like the split of the doubleheader against the San Diego Padres was the first non-sweep series that the Guardians have been a part of since the Kansas City series to start out the year. So now they won the first game of the series against the Blue Jays, so they at least guarantee themselves they couldn't be swept if the Blue Jays win the other three.
I may have had a helping part in that too. Thanks to our buddy Nick Padone who got me onto the Bet Jack, and it's for credits, not real money, but I may have put 500 credits for the Blue Jays. I may have jinxed them.
Well, you know,
I got to do what I got to do.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, take what you can get. So
you could bet 500 credits. I can do that when it's not real money.
Yeah. Now, of course, weather's going to get better, and they're going out on the road. But just let's hope for a better month of baseball in May than in April.